Back now with an in-depth look tonight at a tool that helps police solve gun crimes. And unfortunately, as you know, we have plenty of them around here.
Local police need technology to track down the criminals and their guns that destroy lives. Investigative reporter Chris Horne shows us a system that does just that and where it's making a difference. Chris?
Tom and Anita, I never knew this, but if you take two guns of the same type, even if they were made in the same factory on the same day, they are not identical. Each gun leaves distinctive telltale evidence on the cartridges it fires. And that is exactly what makes this system work.
NIBIN is up there as a very high priority for us.
You won't find a bigger believer in the NIBIN program than Newport News Police Chief Richard Myers.
If you've got a genuine bona fide whodunit and very little info, and you get a match, it can steer you towards a suspect that you weren't aware of.
NIBIN is the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network. The federal program helps local police solve and connect crimes involving guns and the cartridge casings or shells they leave behind.
Cartridge casing is going to be expended generally, especially with a semi-automatic firearm. And that cartridge casing is going to leave behind individual markings.
Here's how NIBIN works. Shots are fired at a crime scene in Hampton Roads. Investigators gather the evidence, cartridges, or weapons. They take it to the Eastern Virginia lab in Norfolk. The lab enters the evidence into the NIBIN system. The system identifies the microscopic marks on the cartridges made from the gun. Those marks are unique, like a fingerprint or a snowflake.
It helps the evidence talk. It tells a story.
Lab director Susan Stanitsky says they get NIBIN evidence from one local agency or another every day. Her lab keeps a stock of different types of bullets so they can be test fired in a gun recovered from a crime scene.
We get any of that type of evidence so that we can look at it.
Once it's entered into NIBIN, investigators can compare gun evidence to search for a match.
Guns are shared oftentimes, and maybe you just have a really bad guy who's responsible for 6 or 7 different shooting incidents.
Newport News and Hampton police departments combined account for 1 in every 5 NIBIN inquiries in all of Virginia.
I'm very proud of the fact that, unlike most police departments, we submit every single gun and every single shell casing to the lab for NIBIN analysis, 100%.
We have been able to link a lot of cartridges and firearms between those two jurisdictions. So it almost looks like guns are being swapped quite frequently between those two jurisdictions.
NIBIN can also connect gun crimes in Hampton Roads with gun crimes in other cities.
We may never know that a crime that was committed in Roanoke, Virginia was related to the crime that was committed in Norfolk, Virginia.
NIBIN evidence proved very helpful, not only in our local crimes, but linking a gun to crimes as far away as New York City.
ATF says the more often NIBIN is used, the more effective it will be.
I would love to see a robust NIBIN program in the Hampton Roads area in which we could actually prevent crime before it happens.
And you heard Chief Myers talk about how much Newport News and Hampton use NIBIN. He'd like to see the peninsula get its own NIBIN lab. Meanwhile, the lab director in Norfolk says additional money that's slated for next year should lead to shorter wait times when it comes to processing evidence from gun crimes. Chris Horne, 10 on your side.